New Year, and welcome back to The Professionals. We are.
Always.
Oh shit! I actually just completely fucked that up. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. I hope your Christmas went well. Welcome back to The Professionals, and this is going to be the Snodacast. We are on season 4, episode 1. Let me change that name real quick. Uh, and of course, I'm your host, Black Chef 56, and we are joined by DJ Leon Lionheart,
Hey guys.
and of course Gallows, aka Thomas.
Yo.
All right. Well, if you've been here before, you know the drill. This is not going to be anything different other than the fact that it is a new year and a new season. So I got to ask the age-old question of weekly updates, and I'm going to go ahead and start with Leon. Leon, how was your break?
Um, it could have definitely been better. Let's just put it that way. A lot of stuff happened that I talked a little bit about with you guys. I don't want to talk a whole lot about it, but it's been rough. Let's just say that it's been pretty fucking rough.
Yeah, I overheard some of the stuff that you were talking about, so I hope everything gets better, man. I really do.
Yeah, we're working on it. I've applied to a couple places to try to get some work.
Well, that's good.
So hopefully something comes about. Hopefully.
One can only hope.
Yep, one can only hope. Found some really good shows to watch. I finished watching Alice in Borderland, and great series. I recommend it.
Okay.
If you guys haven't watched it, the final season of The Walking Dead's now on Netflix. So
I fell out of The Walking Dead so tremendously fast. It's not.
I stopped at season 3. I don't know.
I couldn't even get through season 2 the first time, and then I tried rewatching it. I couldn't even get through season 1. I'm like, fuck this shit. I don't care. The
wow.
cool shit I've already seen. So I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm good. I've already seen all the cool parts. I'm good. I'll live without that.
It's been a while since I've watched it, so it's like I've seen at least seasons 1 through 5 or 6 or something like that a few times. So I only just went back a season just so I can remember what the hell is going on, so I don't get too confused with the final season.
Right.
But other than that, just keeping on, you know.
Completely understand. All right, so Gallows, how was your week, buddy?
It's been good and it's been shitty.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, but hey, that's life though.
That it is.
In other news, I'm looking for. Got a place lined up to live pretty soon. Hopefully, I can get the stuff I need for it to be done by the end of next week.
Right. Yeah. I hope. I wish you the best of luck on that, man. I really do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that goes to me.
Yep.
So, I mean, not much else happened. I did have a pretty decent Christmas. I got a Mimic dice chest. So, unfortunately, that is out in the kitchen. I forgot to bring it out. And, of course, Alduin is getting bigger. So, that is always a plus. We're actually going to be changing some of the... Or at least I'm going to be changing some of my stuff. You can kind of see him right there. He's gotten a lot bigger. You can mostly see his tail. But, yeah, you know, it's just one of those things. Yeah. It's... It'll eventually get better. Yeah, no, I hate to look like a fucking kid, but hey, yo, you got games on your phone? You got games on your phone? Nah, I don't want to be that dude. But yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the Mimic dice chest. Noelle showed that to me when we were in chat.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, it is what it is. Job's going okay. I actually did apply to a to be an HVAC technician's apprentice. I'm hoping that that interview goes well on Tuesday. If not, I know that I have a civil service test for Fort Worth PD on Monday. So I'm hoping that goes as well. I hope they both go well. That way I can have my options open. But I'm really more leaning towards the HVAC stuff because I did just learn all that stuff, and I'd rather not just have learned it and go immediately to be a police officer. Not that the benefits wouldn't be good, but it's just one of those things. It is what it is. I'll eventually figure it. I'll eventually figure it out. But for right now, what's up?
You going to trade work?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and this is a paid internship, so I'm just hoping it. I am hoping it pays better than my current job. That way, I can actually, do some stuff. I do know that Lewis is still out of the country as of right now. He will be coming back probably soon, and there may be a few things that end up happening with that. So I'll keep everybody posted as the weeks come closer. There might be some things going on. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, I get what you're going with the police stuff. My mom's studying for a test to become an EMT.
Right.
Oh, really? Cool.
So, she already went through the classes. A lot of her friends and stuff helped pay for the classes because you guys know, especially you, Christian, is like those classes are fucking expensive. They're expensive.
They are. I mean, it depends on whether or not you go to a community college or not, or a trade school. Usually, trade schools are not god awful on pricing. However, I don't believe EMT is a trade. I know with me, the biggest thing that I had to spend money on was not necessarily classes; it was tools. Now, granted, that is because I am in a trade. I think I spent close to $2,000 on tools alone over the course of 2 semesters. So it wasn't. It
the
wasn't
class that she had to take. It was like $800 for the course.
Oh, damn.
For the whole course? That's
course.
not god awful. I think I maybe spent for each semester, because I did 2 classes each semester. I think maybe I spent about $1,000. But that's over time. You're talking about like all at once. That is a lot. I will agree, especially to try to drop all at once, even without student loans. Especially without student loans, for sure.
Yeah. She has. She's tried the test a couple times and. She knows what she's doing. The only issue is she's had trouble with the terminology, which
terminology is a lot harder. Yeah. I actually did. I was originally going into nursing, so I know the terminology. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's just memorization. It shouldn't be that hard." It's a lot harder than one would think. And I know I look like I'm in the Matrix. I do apologize. I'm still working the kinks out with my camera, but I know that everything is. So all I have to say is, whoa. That's it.
Yeah, I'm hoping she gets it. She's tried the test a couple times, but like I said, that's the hard part. But she has another try. It's at the end of the month, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Okay. All right. Well, if you guys are ready, we're going to go ahead and go directly into Now Showing.
All right.
Should be a pretty quick process. All right. This week for Now Showing, we have Megan, the new AI gone wrong horror killer doll movie. And I've actually been hearing pretty decent things about this movie. I heard that it is, a lot of people are comparing it to the 2019 Child's Play remake. I believe these were made around the same. I think these scripts were made around the same time. However, this one takes it takes it more to an advantage than actually just being held back by, oh, it's a Child's Play remake. No. This is definitely just one of those things where it's like, I believe that this is probably going to be a better situation.
Now, for me, I was not really a big fan of the Child's Play remake. I really was.
A lot of people weren't. It is what it is. I heard there's some good things in it. Oh yeah, well, no, I like the AI element of it.
The AI element was decent, but the whole problem is what the original Child's Play established.
And I will agree to that. And I will say this: Brad Dourif was sorely missed.
Took the whole thing away. It just got rid of all that.
And I will say this: I'm glad that the remake did that. It did try to do a whole new angle. However, it still does Chucky and everything else like that. And I think honestly, I think that was just part of the rewrites and everything else like that with that movie. I don't necessarily despise the movie. I think it's. I don't think it's a good Child's Play movie. I will 100% agree with you. But as a movie,
we're talking about the first one or the second one.
We're talking about the one that came out in 2019. Remake. Yeah, the remake. So the reason why it was a remake is the Chucky series is still going on. Like they have the television series, which is canonical with Chucky, or Child's Play 1, 2, and 3, as well as Bride and Seed, and then of course Cult of Chuck or Curse and Cult. It's actually taking place after Cult.
I actually have not seen the last two movies.
They were direct to DVD, but they're actually really, really good.
I've seen up to Bride and Seed, and then
the last two were actually a back to basics. I would say that Curse of Chucky really has one major flaw, and that is everybody knows Chucky's involved with this, but they still try to play it up like, oh, who could it be? Could it be the doll? Could it be the child gone crazy? It's like, no, motherfucker, we know exactly who this is. So it's just one of those things. I think personally, that was the number one thing that held that movie back. However, Curse or Cult was really, really handled well. And Joe actually brings up a good point. Here, I'll actually go ahead. Mark Hamill's voice work. I would say this: if there's anybody that would have been a good replacement for Brad Dourif, it was Mark Hamill. So I give him props, 100% props on the idea of getting Mark Hamill. I think that was a good idea.
I thought that was a great choice. I thought it was a really great choice.
The biggest problem was Don Mancini was not attached to the new Child's Play movie because, like I said, he was still doing his thing. But the reason why, I believe it's Paramount, the reason why they still did it, or is it MGM? I forget. I forget which company it is. I believe it might be MGM. It might be MGM. It might be Metro Goldwyn there. So I do believe the reason why they did is they're like, oh, hey, we still have the rights to this name, so we can still make a Child's Play movie, but Chucky we cannot. We can't outright call it a Chucky movie. So that was like the biggest confusion, I would say, with that movie is they were like, okay, wait, I thought the Chucky movies were still going, and the hardcore fans were pissed off. That's why this movie didn't do well. I wouldn't hate a sequel to it because I think it's an interesting concept. It's just the biggest problem is you still have a perfectly fine series that is still going super fucking strong with the original creator and a lot of the original actors coming back and everything else like that. So it's just one of those things. It's just, I think, honestly, Megan could be what the Child's Play reboot was trying to be. And that's what I have really heard is that Megan is essentially what the Child's Play movie should have been, but it's done better. And the way that they do this, I've heard, is and it's actually number 2 in the box office right now. We'll actually get into what is still number 1 in the box office here in a bit.
But Child's Play was Universal. It was
Universal, yeah. Universal was like, oh, we're still sitting on that IP, so why not? And they didn't even contact Don Mancini. He didn't know until the trailer came out. So he was pissed. He's like, "Hey, what the fuck? That's my love child, you know. That's my child, and you're taking it away from me, basically." Don't get me wrong; he's moved on from it, but it's still one of those things where it's like, "Why the fuck would you do that? I still have mine." And it's just it. I don't know. I've yet to see the series.
I do want to. I haven't seen the series either. I heard it's really good.
I've been told it's fantastic.
I've seen clips of the last few episodes of the series, I think, and it's really good. It really is. It's
I saw the kill count.
I'm not really into Chucky. For me,
yeah, I saw the kill count for season 1 of Chucky, so I'm looking forward to the season 2 for sure. And of course, because season 1 he was leading up to it, he did James A. Janice of Dead Meat. 100%. If you guys have not, if you're a horror fan and you haven't heard of Dead Meat or you haven't watched anything from them, definitely go check them out. Not sponsored, just wanted to show the love across YouTube. I absolutely adore James A. Janice and his team. That what they do with the kill counts. I watch almost every single episode that I can, unless it's a movie that I have yet to see. Then I try to go watch it and then go from there. So, they did a kill count, but I would love to see what they would do with kill count with this, because I do plan on seeing this movie. I don't know if I'm probably going to see it anytime soon. I'll probably see it here in a couple weeks whenever I get my paycheck back, or whenever I get another paycheck, because that might probably be the only time I will go see it. I hope that this movie does well, 100%. And I have mentioned Dead Meat before, Joe. You were not incorrect.
I don't know. I can't take. I get. That's not really taken serious. It's just that the dancing of the AI which throws me off.
Well, and that's actually another thing I did want to bring up. The reason why this movie is PG-13 is it's actually shot, and a lot of people will either guess or know. This movie was intended to be rated R. But then because the dancing went viral, and they're like, well, this is going to be the first movie of 2023. We want kids to go see this. It's like, okay, so we'll just cut it down to PG-13. And I heard it's still done incredibly well. You can just tell with how they set shots up. It was supposed to be way more violent than it was. But they did edit it down to a PG-13. I would be almost, if this is a hit, I would honestly not be surprised if there's a rated R cut that comes out with the Blu-ray. That would not surprise me the slightest.
I wouldn't doubt it either.
Kind of like what they did with Deadpool.
Wouldn't that just be a director's cut then?
Deadpool was already rated R. Oh, you're talking about the PG-13 Deadpool?
Yeah.
Deadpool 2.
Yeah,
but
then they
Deadpool,
put down on Deadpool.
And they came with a rated R version of it.
Well, the rated R version is what came out. They just tried to re-release it and get more money out of it by doing a PG-13 version of it.
Why am I having? I'm having a lot of glitch issues.
Okay. Yeah, you are kind of fuzzing in and out. But yeah, so I mean, it is one of those things where it's just like, okay, what the fuck was we talking about? We were talking about. Oh yeah, it is rated R. So Deadpool had Once Upon a Deadpool, which is the PG-13 edit of the rated R movie. What you're thinking of is they came out with the unrated cut of Deadpool 2, which is not the director's cut, but it just has more jokes. It's the super duper cut, is what it's called. So,
I didn't know they came out with the unedited an unrated version for Deadpool 2.
It came out with the DVD.
It was funny.
If you bought the Blu-ray, you got Deadpool 2 and the super duper cut. You got access to both. Even on Deadpool.
Okay, I have Deadpool, the first one, but it's not Blu-ray. I don't have Deadpool 2 yet.
Okay, so Deadpool 2 is the only one that has that. I don't believe there's an unrated cut of Deadpool. Not the first one. I think they put that to as much as they could. It's really just alternate jokes and extended jokes in the super duper cut. That's really all it is. Honestly, the biggest flaw I think the super duper cut has is there's that fight scene at the end between Colossus and Leon. You've seen Deadpool 2, right? Yeah. Okay. Then, yeah. You know.
I've seen that.
So between Colossus and Juggernaut,
and Juggernaut, that shit's funny as fuck. He just grabs the fucking wine, stuck up his ass and shit. That shit was
yeah, that was hilarious. But yeah, so during that, you have that entire song of like "Welcome to the Party." Even before that, so what they end up doing in the super duper cut is when they're running, they play "Fly Like an Eagle," which I found funny. I did find that one funny. But then during the fight, it starts playing this like twangy hick version of it's called "Fight Dirty." So it's like ding 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 ding, fight dirty, fight dirty. I'm like, come on, man. It's funny, but it's also not as epic in my opinion. I think the "Welcome to the Party" song is far better. But there are really, really, really good jokes. So. Disney has edited some of Deadpool 1 and 2. I think they have cut it down a little bit. But anyways, we're getting way off topic. So on to our first topic for the night. It's actually technically a 3-in-1 deal. If you guys remember last year, we actually did have a little segment like this when we had so many trailers that we wanted to talk about. but we didn't want to make them each one topic, so we decided to smorgasbord them together in this segment that we do call New Trailers. So this week we're going to be talking about Evil Dead Rise, Scream 6 having its official trailer, and the Barbie teaser trailer. So I do want to go with the most recent one as of yet, and that would be Evil Dead Rise. I wholeheartedly am super pumped for this movie. I was nervous about it just because it is so drastically different. Especially because the fact that Bruce Campbell is sadly not in this movie, but he is producing the movie. So that gave me so much faith. But as soon as I saw this Red Band trailer, I knew for a fact that this is going to be one of my most anticipated movies coming up. And I cannot wait. I want to be sitting in the theater right now watching this movie 100% because this seems so much fucking fun and creepy, and that's if you can't get fun and creepy from Evil Dead, you're doing something wrong.
Right,
And
right.
I will say this: it's not a direct sequel to Fede Alvarez's 2013. I believe it was 2013, 2014's Evil Dead remake. It's a reboot, remake, whatever the fuck it is. It's really weird how that fits in the canon, and they kind of really haven't really ever addressed it because there is a Bruce Campbell cameo at the end of that. But a lot of people are saying, oh, with the makeup of the Deadites, they're looking more similar to the Fede Alvarez, and I'm like, okay, I like that idea. However, I don't believe it's going to be like I don't expect anybody that survived, which is one person from the original from that Fede Alvarez Evil Dead movie. I don't expect anybody to be. I don't expect whatever her name is. I don't expect her to show up. I think it's Alex. But I will say this, and Joe actually brought up. He said he agrees. Seeing no Ash is whack. So I don't necessarily think it's going to be that bad, just because that was the one reason why I'm nervous. I'm like, I haven't really ever seen an Evil Dead property minus that Fede Alvarez movie without Bruce Campbell as Ash. So it's just one of those things. It's like it is going to be a hole. However, this is going to be so interesting with seeing this this woman visiting her sister and her kids in this apartment, and they find it's an apartment high rise. Yeah, it's in an apartment high rise, so I expect so much. I'm basically expecting Evil Dead, that vibe, meeting Dread, the Carl Urban movie, where it's kind of like the fight to the top kind of thing. I'm kind of expecting that kind of vibe to mix, and I think that's actually what we're going to be getting. I think they're just trying to show us something to get us interested, and I am super pumped for it. I do love that bloody chainsaw. That was a nice touch. Also, I love how creepy it looks when this woman crawls out of the tub. I was like, ooh. And obviously, number one thing I can't go without talking about, there is a point in this trailer where someone throws a cheese grater, a Deadite grabs it, slams it on their bare shin, or not shin, it's like their calf, and just starts pulling. I'm like, yo. Yo, that's gonna be so much fun. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun scene. I cannot wait for that.
I remember seeing bits of parts of that, clips of that trailer, and it does look good. It's been a while since I've seen an Evil Dead movie. It's been quite a while. I would recommend
checking them out. If you haven't seen all of it, or if you haven't seen the show, I would definitely recommend the show 100%. Especially if you're a fan of the original. Ash vs. Evil Dead. It's on Netflix. Last I checked. There's only 3 seasons. It's super super good. So Joe actually brought up a good point. He brought up Demons, and that is a good cult movie. I don't know. I think that might be a good representation of what we could be getting. Either way, I'm super pumped for this movie. Now onto a movie that I think I'm the only one that's pumped for. Scream 6. I am super pumped for this movie because I think it is going to be a change in formula. Especially, this is following the new characters from the last movie, the ones that survived, and it is going to be taking place in New York on Halloween night, and I think they're using that to their full advantage because this I'm telling you, there's something creepy about the fact that you don't know whether or not he's a good, like that was the creepiest part of Scream 2 in my opinion, was the opening, because you don't know. I mean, so many people were wearing the ghost face mask. You don't know who the real killer is or isn't. Whereas this one is New York City on Halloween night. I guarantee you there's going to be somebody wearing that, and they're gonna beat the shit out of them and probably not even realize it.
I like.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoy the idea that they changed the location. So we're not no more
100%,
small
yeah.
town,
Well, the second one
USA.
changed that
We're now in
location
big
too.
city type
The second
place.
and third movies, everybody keeps forgetting about the second and third movies. They're like, "Oh, well, it's not in the small town anymore." It's like, no, the second and third movie did not take place in that same small town. The third movie was in Hollywood, and the
Oh
second
yeah,
movie was on a
that's
college
right.
campus.
That's right.
I
I forgot
mean,
they did
shit,
that.
everybody forgets that. Everybody's just like, "Oh, well, Scream 1 and 4 did it." I'm like, yeah, they did, but Scream 2 and 3, which I granted, I get it, Scream 3 sucks. It's probably the weakest out of the entire series of movies. I've yet to watch the show. For anybody that would want to know, I have yet to watch the show. I just don't feel
I haven't watched it
I don't
either.
feel too attached
I
by it.
haven't seen the show
Uh,
because I didn't think it matched the movie. That's why.
I heard it's
I
not god
wanted
awful
to.
though. Like I heard there is a small group of people that do appreciate that show. I mean, shit, it got 3 seasons. Obviously, it has some fan base.
Obviously, they're
So
doing something right.
yeah, I
If
just
they
know the
got
reason
three
why
seasons,
the
they're doing
mask
something right.
looks weird is because they couldn't get the rights to the actual Ghostface mask.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Okay. I heard about that. I mean, that's weird.
yeah. So that was the whole reason why. It's the same reason why you never saw Superman in the full-on Superman costume in Smallville. They technically didn't have the rights.
Well, really?
Yeah, that was the whole reason why it was the last episode, him putting on the suit.
Oh, really?
hmm But on to our final trailer. So this is one that I'm telling you, gentlemen, you need to wear a suit and tie to. This is a movie that is going to be a huge event, and I'm of course talking about the Barbie movie.
I love that. I'm loving the fact that we get to see. What's the name? Margaret.
Margot Robbie.
Margaret
Margaret-
Robbie.
sorry,
Margot
Margot
Robbie.
Robbie.
Yeah, Margot Robbie.
Sorry, Margot. I'm going to call her Margot. She's in a whole different world. She's no longer playing Harley. She's no longer playing the psycho chick. She's now
We've
playing.
had other roles where
better.
she doesn't do that. Have you not watched The Wolf of Wall Street? That's what
No,
got.
yeah,
That's what
no,
she did
I-
before
yeah,
she
that's-
did Holly.
that's-
Yeah, before she did Harley Quinn, and she's done
Yeah.
other roles since then. It's just
Yeah,
that's her
that's
most
what I'm saying.
popular. That's her most well-known role is Harley Quinn because she does it so
Yeah.
well. In my personal opinion,
Yeah.
I agree. She does it incredibly well.
She does a really great job as being Harley. But I'm just saying that I'm glad that she's trying to step out from being Harley into some new roles and stuff like that.
She's always been open to it, but I do see where you're coming from. It would be nice to see something that is more commercially marketable, other than kind of like a Scorsese film or something else along those lines. Yeah, I agree. Definitely something that's going to be like a bigger hit for sure. I know for a fact I'm going to be seeing this movie 100%. Even if I'm the only dude in there. Even if I'm the only here. Okay, let me reiterate that. Even if I'm the only dude that is going there on his own will, I will still go see this movie. Because I
You're gonna
guarantee
be
you,
the
wives are going to be
only-
dragging their husbands.
Isn't it supposed to be a kids movie?
No, I don't think so.
I've heard mixed things about it because it is a director that's known for drama. So I think this is definitely going to be geared towards kids. You wouldn't make a Barbie movie not geared towards kids. However, I think it's going to be something along the lines of like what Shrek 2 was, where it is such a perfect balance of kids humor and adult humor. So I think that's what this is going to find the perfect balance of, because I do know that Barbie
You're gonna be
is
the only guy there with no kids, no nut, and you're just gonna sit there.
100%. I'll even bring my nephew to make it not look weird. I'm 100. I'm not kidding. I will 100% bring my nephew to make it not look weird. But that's a different story. Anyways, I will go and see this movie 100%. I think this movie is going to be fun. I think it's, and also Will Ferrell is playing the head of a Mattel company.
Weird.
Yeah, so they do go into the real world at some point, which is interesting. Her and Ryan Gosling as Ken. So I think this movie is going to be more clever than people give it credit for. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it's rated PG-13 because one of the behind the scenes things, we see her in the real world, and she gets her ass slapped, and then she punches a dude, but she punches the same dude that does it. I'm like, that's actually kind of funny. I don't see that happening in a PG movie, however. But maybe the MPA will actually get it right this time and not be complete pieces of shit. I am not holding my fucking breath on that one. I would not be surprised if this is PG-13. I don't know when it comes out, Joe. Thank you for asking. I genuinely don't remember when it's supposed to come out. I don't even think they have an official release date. I know that they have an idea of when it's supposed to come out. I think it's going to be a summer movie, if I'm not mistaken.
I feel like it's going to be a summer movie.
Yeah, if they're releasing all the trailers right now, I think like probably May to July and August is when they're probably like. I know Scream is coming out in June. If I'm not mistaken.
Official release date, according to what I've seen, July 21st of this year.
That doesn't surprise me. Do we know what the official release date for Scream 6 is?
I could look that up.
Yep. So in July, this movie will be coming out. Okay, so it's going to be a summer movie for sure.
Yeah.
6 will be March 10th.
Ooh, fun. Has the MPAA ever done us wrong? Bro, tell me why the fuck Frozen is rated PG. Genuinely tell me that. I'll even give you a harder one. Tell me why the fuck Inside Out is rated PG.
It is rated PG? Wouldn't it be? It's not rated.
Why the fuck is it rated PG and not G?
Oh,
because of one fucking joke.
Yeah, basically
jokes. Because of 2 jokes that not even adults really laughed at. I'm not saying they're bad movies. I'm saying they're okay. I'm just like, why the fuck are these rated PG? There's one joke in Frozen that made it PG. And that was the foot size joke. Most kids won't even get that.
I don't even get that, but okay.
Foot size. Apparently, the size of your foot determines the size of your.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's a guy. It's really a guy thing. However, most girls go, foot size doesn't matter, and it's like, yeah, sometimes it does. But if we're talking about what it's supposed to imply, yes. If we're talking about the actual foot size doesn't actually matter. Like the actual size of your foot does not matter. It doesn't really determine what size you're gonna get on that end. That's mostly genetics. It's just one of those things. But I've never been a fan of the MPAA. I'm not saying that they're not important. I am just saying I don't like how they rate certain things. Like there's also been a shitload of movies that are like, why is this PG-13? This should be borderline R. Which granted, that's fine. If you can push the limits on PG-13 just by cutting out a few things here and there, that's why The Dark Knight is so tremendously intense and hardcore, but it's not rated R because they have little to no swearing and no drinking or smoking in the entire movie. Yeah, nobody smokes, drinks, and little to no swearing in that entire movie. Hence the reason they could have so much violence in that movie. If they had swore a little bit more, drank, or smoked, it would have been rated R just by MPAA standards. So I'll prove one. I'll give you one example of where the MPAA got trolled, and it's one of the best known examples of mankind, in my opinion. If you know anything about the MPAA, so everybody remember the South Park movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that movie. I'm going to give you a little context. The MPAA states you cannot have more than 300 F-bombs in your movie before you get an X rating. You know how many F-bombs South Park's movie had?
It's more than 300.
299.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it got rated R.
Because that last F-bomb was not in that movie.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter the fact that it involves a child getting brutally murdered. It doesn't involve the fact that Saddam Hussein is fucking Satan. It doesn't matter that heaven is giant ladies with big titties. It doesn't matter that it talks about the end of the world because these two people. Apparently, there's a whole entire song called "Shut Your Fucking Face, Uncle Fucker."
And then the beginning song where Cartman's talking about Kyle's mom and shit.
That's not the beginning. That's like more towards the end, but that's different. That's been like in the show, but they just made it a full-on musical number at that point. Like yeah, it doesn't matter that it has to deal with that or the fact that they kind of do a borderline Holocaust thing in the fucking thing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As long as you didn't say one more F-bomb, you were gonna get an R rating. So that's why I genuinely love Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Even though I don't love everything that they do, I genuinely do enjoy almost everything that they do. Like, everything they did with South Park was okay. Oh. Welcome back, sir.
Disconnected me just for a second.
Yeah, I noticed. It pretty much shot you back in right immediately. Oh, so by the way, before I forget, everybody, we now have business cards. So if you ever meet me in person, ask. I may have one. Don't know. I'm working on getting a business card holder soon, so hopefully I don't get met by that many people in person. And eventually, over time, hopefully all of my lovely co-hosts will also have their own card, and if they don't shamelessly plug at least 5 cards, I will personally stalk them and kill them. That's a story for a different time. So, on to our next topic. Or actually, any more thoughts, comments, concerns on any of the 3 trailers that we talked about?
No, not really. I mean, I'm excited for them to come out during the summertime and then the spring and summertime season.
Yeah. No, these are all going to be coming out in the summer. I mean, Scream's coming out in March, so I'm going to go see that 100%.
I'm not. I don't. Like I said 100 times on this show, I'm not a big Scream fan. I think it's overdone.
Like I said, I think I was the only one.
Yeah, I'm not too big of a fan of that particular slasher flick, but I might go see it. Probably not going to see the Barbie movie, but definitely the Evil Dead movie I'll probably go see.
Oh, for 100%, I will definitely go see. I'll go see all 3 of these. I may not like go out of my way to go see the Barbie movie. It all depends on what else coming out at that point in time. But I will go see it in theaters 100%. Whereas Evil Dead, I'm definitely getting opening night tickets 100%. Same thing with Scream 6. If I can get opening night tickets, I'm getting opening night tickets. So that is going to be my thought process, at least.
The whole Barbie movie, I probably watch it when it comes out on a streaming service, more than likely.
It might eventually come to streaming soon. I don't know. I forget who's producing it. It might be Universal, actually.
I think it is.
Yeah, so it should be on
theaters, and then it's gonna go. It's gonna shoot in theaters for like.
It'll go to digital.
About a month, and then shoot to digital and streaming right after.
Yeah, usually that's how it works. It goes. It's on.
Oh no, it's a Warner Brothers. It's a Warner Brothers.
Oh, then it'll go directly to HBO Max then.
Yeah, it would.
It'll like after 45 days, I believe, it'll go directly to HBO Max. So give it a month and a week, and it'll be on HBO Max. So, and you have no excuse, good sir. So fuck you.
I know.
Anyways, on to our next topic. So, unfortunate news for anybody that is a Justin Roiland fan. Apparently, High on Life, his new video game, which has been blowing up tremendously everywhere, is unfortunately not coming to PlayStation. I am fine. I have a PC, I have an Xbox, and I have a PlayStation. So,
I live with people who have the game and I can play it on their system, so I ain't tripping about it.
Yeah,
it's just
I'm not tripping about it either.
It's just the fact that this is payback for the whole situation with Activision and the gaming community's government situation in England.
Is Activision producing this game?
No. I'm just saying. This might be payback for it because remember how they were like Xbox was like, hey, we're gonna more likely put Call of Duty as exclusive onto their systems and take it from.
Here's the thing. They actually, believe it or not, they did reach out to PlayStation's like, hey, look, we can give you a 5-year contract with Call of Duty, and it's always up for renewal. And PlayStation said no. So,
and then
the fact that PlayStation won't have Call of Duty is kind of on PlayStation's fault. Hell yeah! Now they have a deal with fucking Switch with Nintendo.
From the article I am looking at that talks about it, it's a lot of it has to do with an agreement with Microsoft.
Oh, that's why. It's Microsoft is producing this. That's why.
Yeah. Partnering with Microsoft brings High on Life to Game Pass, which is a great opportunity for our games. Blah 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 blah. We've been working on this game for over 4 years. Wow, I didn't realize it took that long.
Well, yeah, I mean the graphics look as tremendous as they do, and I'm sure it took that. I'm pretty sure like at least a year solid of that was the writing.
Yeah.
Presently, there are no intentions to port it High on Life to PlayStation platforms.
So it's not a definite. It's not going to be on there. It's just that there are no intentions to do it as of right now.
More likely because of contracts and whatnot. So
that's fine, but it is still kind of sad news because that means that it will probably release on Xbox and Windows long before
it even touches
PlayStation. Yeah, so I would say probably a few months, maybe to a year or two max is probably what you're looking at on difference.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or not at all, depending on what goes on.
Yeah, it all depends on what happens. But that being said, I think this game looks like a lot of fun. I like the fact that
it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. It looks hilarious. It sounds good. Let's do it.
I've played a little bit. I've watched a bit of it. It's great.
Yeah.
What's interesting? They literally got the rights to watch a 2-hour film. In game, you can watch the full Titanic movie in game.
Oh wow!
Oh my god!
Damn!
Oh my god!
Yeah. I saw this on fucking TikTok, and the guy's like going through the game. He's like sees a little clip of it. He's like, "Is the whole movie on there?" So, and then it cuts to like 2 hours later, and it's the final scene. Is like, "Get on the fucking door, Jack."
There was room on the goddamn door. I never understood why they had to kill off Jack like that. I believe it would have been a perfect relationship for them.
Time travel.
Time travel.
The theory is Jack's a time traveler.
Theory is Jack's a time traveler.
Theory is I don't give two fucks about Titanic. I'm sorry. Aside from the astonishing fucking scene of where the Titanic actually sinks, I don't give a fuck about that movie.
Probably.
I think there's one other movie that you can watch fully on there, but I don't remember what it is.
That is still hilarious, though. That is funny as shit. I love that. But speaking of video games, if you guys are ready, we're going to go ahead and go to our next topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So apparently there is a new indie horror game coming out called Lies of P. This is a steampunk horror survival kind of game, almost similar to, what was it you guys said, Bloodborne?
Yeah,
but this is by Nokia.
There's another one.
Well, only reason I say like Bloodborne and stuff because Bloodborne and I think one other game, I can't remember what it is. Because
Bloodborne was very steampunk-esque, but it was also heavily influenced by H.P. Lovecraft as well.
Yeah, and this game takes place in like 17, late 1800, early 1900 England.
Yeah. Like I said, it's very H.P. Lovecraft-esque. I heard the game is not the greatest, but I'm interested to see what it is. So I might eventually play it. The only reason why I may not play it is because it is a From Software game, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, not a From Software guy. I can't spend 3 months of my life fucking grinding Elden Ring. I can't. As gorgeous as the game is, I will much rather watch somebody play through it than actively play it. I am so sorry. It's just
there's
it's
a
one
few
of those
games
things.
I've looked into. It's like I want to play, but it's like I don't want to spend time doing all that grindy shit. I really don't.
Yeah. Like God of War Ragnarok is different, but that's because it's a linear story, whereas Elden Ring is very open world and it's supposed to be very. It's just one of those things. I'm like, I don't know. I like Elden Ring. Elden Ring looks fine. It's even fun to play. I will agree, but I can't be grinding shit like that. I really can't. So it's just one of those things. I only have so much time over
So
it
the
really
plot for Liza P. It takes place in a twisted version of Pinocchio's world, where automatons have overrun the fictional city of Krat. Krat.
Oh wow.
Pinocchio must find Mr. Geppetto and reverse the city's ill fortunes and overcome killer puppets to save Krat.
It sounds like
Okay.
some type of Alice in Wonderland, some type of Alice in Wonderland type shit.
Well, there is an Alice in Wonderland video game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You just throw that together
I've
with
heard
the Liza
I've heard
P. I
that
think
one
sounds
did
like
pretty
good.
well.
Yeah.
I've seen there is a little bit of gameplay. At least I'm pretty sure it looks like gameplay to me from the video I saw. Liza P looks really fucking good.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good.
what I've seen from it too, the design and the artwork that they put into this game. I know they were trying to produce it early like 2015 type era to now.
Mhm.
I believe I'm not too sure how long they've been doing it, but yeah, it looks really good. The graphics and the design work and the gameplay from what I saw were really on par with Bloodborne and stuff like that.
The graphics remind me of the game called Thief. Do you guys remember that game?
I do remember Thief. Yeah.
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 But there's no official release date for it yet. All it has is sometime this year. So I'm hoping maybe mid-year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I guess we're going to keep the video game train going because we got one more topic to talk about with video games, and that is the cult classic Lollipop Chainsaw is getting a remake or reboot. I don't necessarily 100% know. As long as James Gunn is attached, I don't care because I will play this 100%. I actually missed out on the Lollipop Chainsaw fad and everything else like that, or not
Me
fad. I wouldn't say
too.
that.
I got to
missed
watch.
out on
I didn't
really
play it. I didn't even know there was a game that was called that until like. So I
Well,
had
it's
to
a zombie
like,
game.
drawing it up for me, so.
The biggest achievement that it really does have is not only is it actually surprisingly good. It handles its tone very very well. It was produced by James Gunn, and that was like one of the first times that a director like that would produce a video game. Now it's not necessarily uncommon. It still is fairly rare, but it's not the rarest thing in the world. So it's just one of those things that I think personally, even though zombies are still kind of dying out, I think zombies in video games are still 100% like ready to go. I think it's just like in like every other media, I think zombies are just kind of drained. Like I wouldn't mind another Zombieland movie. That's fine. I wouldn't care.
Where could they go with it though? If they make a third Zombieland, I don't really know where they could go with it.
I don't either, other than maybe trying to find a cure. But that's really all I can think of. It's just one of those things. It's like maybe there's like 50 scientists that they got to try to save, and like every time they turn a corner, everyone keeps dying. Like that could be funny. It could be really funny. I don't know.
They have to transfer these 10 scientists, but every time they turn a corner, one fucking dies.
Well, and here's the thing. The only reason why I say I wouldn't mind another Zombieland movie is because I like trilogies. Trilogies are kind of cool. Even though I don't think necessarily this one deserves a trilogy. As a duology, it's fine. I would still say probably the first one is still more unique than the second one. But I mean, second one's got some good stuff. It finally showed an evolution of zombies and everything else like that. So I do like that element. It did show an evolution, and I guess inevitably it would end with everybody dying, but I don't know. So it is what it is. But I think personally, back onto Lollipop Chainsaw, I think in video games zombies are still pretty solid. I wouldn't say they're like rising anymore. I would say they've hit a plateau for sure. I'd say they're still pretty solid because every now and then we'll find a zombie game that'll come out. Like I think what is it called? Calypto Protocol.
I think so.
Callisto Project, yeah. It apparently is like a very Dead Space-esque game, which Dead Space, I mean, shit, even Dead Space is getting a remake, or a reboot, or remaster. I mean, it's just one of those things that's like, I think you need something that isn't serious zombies. I would love a campy zombie game again. It would be fun. That was the whole thing, because I looked at gameplay of Lollipop Chainsaw, which surprisingly there's not. It's not the longest game in the world either.
No,
Like, I
it's
know
not.
plenty of people that finished it within 2 or 3 days and they were done. It's just like it involves a lot of going back to certain levels to like upgrade everything to where you can get the different cosmetics and stuff like that. So I think personally, this would not be a bad thing. I would love, because I remember seeing the advertisements everywhere. And I'm like, oh man, I really want to play that, but I didn't have a system to play it on. So
Yeah, same here.
yeah, I would love to get a chance at this game. I really would.
I love the good chances of the game too. I think it'll be fun to play.
According to the article, Dragamy, I believe that's how you pronounce it, the company producing it, is looking to aim for a 2023 release.
Oh, that's good.
Hopefully,
cool.
maybe summer.
Okay, that'd be nice. I mean, I wouldn't even mind at the end of the year, honestly.
Yeah,
There's not a lot of games that are coming out this year that at least that I know of, that I'm like super pumped for.
I think this month is gonna be. I believe this month is supposed to be nothing but like anime, TV shows, and everything else coming out this whole entire month. From the beginning.
Yeah. January is going to be the slowest news. It's going to be the slowest for movies because almost every movie that comes in January is lovingly known as. Well, I would say lovingly. It is spitefully known as the dumping ground of movies.
Yep.
There's a reason why most people don't go. Like, January is when a lot of theaters hurt because most people don't go to the movies in January. Every now and then you'll find a rare gem that'll shine out in January, but like every year, no. I think Megan might be that rare gem this year. I don't believe there was one last year.
Last of Us might be the rare gem of watching
that's
it.
TV shows. There's always good TV shows coming out in January.
Oh yeah, there's always
That's different. I'm talking about like when we're talking about just straight movies. Most movies that come out in January are absolutely they're either ass or they're just okay.
Or they do really poorly in the box office and stuff.
Well, they usually do really poorly in the box office, but I'm just talking about it doesn't matter. I'm not talking about performance. I'm mostly talking about are they good movies? A lot of January movies are not good movies. Like I think the last Kung Fu Panda came out in January, and of course those are always good. But that was that's a rare gem. There's only a handful of gems I can say that did come out in January. Like I believe the first Don't Breathe came out in January, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. I don't either. I do know the worst example of a recent memory is The Bye Bye Man came out in January.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
never
That
saw
movie
that.
was
That one
stupid.
came out and it did so poorly. It jumped off.
Oh, it was absolute ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is what it is. Oh. I'm sorry about that. I am tired. All right, on to our final topic for the night, if you guys are ready.
Yeah.
So I did mention what is at number 1 in the box office still as of this week. And of course that is Avatar: The Way of Water. And the news that we have is Avatar is actually now officially seen as financially successful because it has passed the $2 billion mark. And that was about how much it needed to be to break even. So the biggest thing is whether or not it's going to be the highest grossing film of all time, if it's going to surpass the first Avatar. I think, honestly, it is better than the first Avatar. I think I wouldn't mind it surpassing it. I don't necessarily want it to be the next hype craze, but with it being financially successful, we are going to be getting all those sequels so long as each one continues to be good. So I am.
So right now we're only confirmed a third movie.
We're confirmed a third.
It's supposed to be The Way of the Fire.
I don't know if they're going to call it Way of Fire. They may call it Ashes. No, it's actually called The Seed Bearer. It is called The Seed Bearer. we
Oh,
are
okay.
seeing like we do have the titles for everything. Like there's a Tokun Rider, I think that's the fourth one, and the fifth one I believe is called I forget what the fifth one's called, but Tokun Rider is the fourth one, and then like I said, forget what the fifth one's called. But
Yeah,
this one
this
is
one.
going to show. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say this one's supposed to be showing us the bad side of the natives.
The Navi, yeah.
Yeah, the
So
Navi.
we are going to be seeing a fire tribe in this. And I know, prepare your fucking Avatar Last Airbender jokes. I know. Trust me, I've heard them all. And honestly, I don't necessarily think James Cameron is the biggest Avatar Last Airbender fan. It would be awesome if he was, but it's just one of those things. It's like I don't know how I would feel if Avatar did better as a quote unquote Last Airbender thing, whereas Last Airbender has been doing kind of shit when it comes to live action. I don't know how I feel about that. We've yet to see the show. I am pumped about the show. It's one of those things. It's like I don't know. I think a lot of people are just like, oh well, they're doing. It's like okay, yeah, that makes sense that they're doing Elemental. I mean, shit, this is after school specials with big ass special effects and big names behind it. What the fuck do you expect? But you know, it's. I mean, it's literally those '90s after school specials. So do with it what you will. However, it's just one of those things. I'm super pumped for this because I did go see Avatar: Way of Water twice in theater, even though it is way too damn long. And James Cameron has taken note of that. He has said that the next one is not going to be as long as this one. So I think it's probably going to be about the same time that the first one was, which was. Hold on one second. It was, I believe, 2 hours and 40 minutes long.
I'm just the best thing I know. The best thing I like about Avatar the movie is the animals they show, like the different types of animals.
Oh yeah,
the
animals.
world building. That's the best part of Avatar. I will agree. Though, granted, I will say this. I will say this. I do think that these are not the best stories ever told. I'm not going to stroke James Cameron's ego that much. What I will say is these have definitely been a step up of what CGI can do. Because there was moments in this movie where I legitimately thought I forgot I was watching CGI. There's a few moments where I did. I was like, oh, wow, yeah, no, now I remember it's CGI. But that's mostly just like action with humans interacting into it. So that's usually where like the CGI does kind of get a little wonky, and that was where the first one got really wonky as well. But it's just one of those things. It's like I mean, the first one did the same thing, except this time we do get more of not humans interacting with Navi. It's just Navi interacting with Navi. So it's just one of those things. It's like I think that is so genuinely interesting. I don't know. Yeah. I would love to see this. Honestly, I wouldn't mind it if it was just a trilogy. But I'm glad that we are getting it as a quintilogy, I guess.
I just really hope that the next two movies do really great as these three might do. That these three are doing so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just really hope they don't get lazy in the last two and just fuck up on the last two movies.
Actually, part of the reason why it has taken 13 years, and also part of the reason why we may be getting the Seed Bear a lot quicker than one would think, is because they already have 95% of the next one shot, and I believe they have the opening of the fourth one shot. The only reason why they said 95% is I think they have reshoots that they got to go do because they are confirming it, and of course, I think it's only going to take a year for a lot of the effects because if they've already been working on it for that long, I guarantee you they already have rough effects already done. So we'll see what goes on with it. But I think James Cameron himself said you could probably expect the next one within a year or two, maybe a year and a half, and I'd love that because I remember that was his original plan. But, you know, a lot of people are like, well, it took 13 years for this one. Why should it take 20 for the next one? I'm like, shut the fuck up. It's not going to take that long. Disney's not going to put that much money into that shit.
Originally, it was supposed to be, if the second one did really good, it would have been every other year for the next movie.
Yeah, and I think that's actually what they're saying. But, you know, it's just one of those things. I think personally, I'm glad James Cameron is still getting people out into the theater. I'm very happy about that because, while granted, I would love a better movie, I am glad that this is one of the few franchises that he's at least improving upon, and not just like, oh well, I've made 2, peace, and it's like, bro, that's where they all start going downhill. So it's just one of those things. It's like I don't know. I love a lot of his older action movies. Now, granted, I do know that there is some stuff that he's been saying behind the scenes. He said he reportedly cut 10 minutes of Avatar: Way of Water because of it glorified gun violence. I'm like, okay, but these are action movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These are action-packed movies, bro. That's just something.
Yeah.
Not.
Well, it doesn't have to be action packed. This one's a lot more character development, and I enjoyed that. It's also apparently the number 1 movie to ever use, or it has the highest amount of bros used in one script. Yeah.
Terrible.
So apparently there's that as well.
Bro, they're getting mad because it was representing a certain indigenous tribe, and people
Yeah, you just my dick on that one.
like,
Fuck
bro,
you.
it's a movie. You don't.
Oh yeah, we're not
Yeah.
gonna get into that woman who like. I don't know. Have you guys heard about this?
What's up?
About the woman who was saying that this movie is racist to indigenous life. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't fucking know.
I saw this a while ago. It was like right. I think it was like right after Way of Water came out. This woman started talking about how the whole everything that humans did to their natives was like completely fucked up and everything, and I'm like, everyone in the comments of this video like, it's a fucking fictional movie, nothing exists, and she's going on and on and on about how horrible it is that we did this to this indigenous people, and we're like, what the fuck?
Well, that was James Cameron's intention with the first movie. It's like, oh yeah, look how horrible it is what we're doing to our planet. But it's just one of those things. It's like, okay, yeah, but you're also saying like what it is. It was no fucking secret that they were based off the indigenous people of the United States. It's no secret. I mean,
Yeah,
like that's
everyone knew that, but the whole thing of it was she made her sound like the Navi were like real fucking people, and we were doing this to this real fucking culture.
Bro, dude, they're fake.
How much Kool-Aid have you drank? And I need you to stop and then hand me whatever the fuck you're smoking. That's what I need.
Right?
I want whatever you're smoking. Like, what are you smoking?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what the fuck are you
That's
smoking?
what I was
Stop
like,
and give me some.
dude.
You know?
Like, lady, I think you had enough of whatever you're having. Give it to
Yeah,
me.
exactly. Yeah, give it to me. Let me have some, and then you go fuck off. All right, so you guys ready to go into Snodacquicks?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have
All
one.
right.
Yeah.
All
I do.
right, so for Snodacquicks, Leon, do you have a Snodacquick?
Yes, Marvel is producing a new animated TV series
I saw that.
called Moon Girl and Neville Dinosaur.
What?
It looks,
I thought I heard something.
it looks very interesting and very weird at the same time. But
Okay, look, you got away with Guardians of the Galaxy. I'll even argue you got away with a lot of shit that you probably shouldn't have. Like, Eternals, I wouldn't say you got away with, but like you got away with Guardians of the Galaxy. That was weird. Now I think you're just trying to smoke your own. You're trying to inhale your own fumes at this point, and that's the problem. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the idea and the concept of throwing shit at the wall, see what sticks. I completely understand it, but it's just one of those things where it's like you shouldn't be doing this with Marvel. You have so many different things that you can do with these characters, and especially now that you're introducing the multiverse. Why are you trying to do modern comics? You have like 50 plus years of these comics, and now you're almost 100 actually. I think
one of their newer comic series, I don't know, but Lucina Lafayette, aka Moon Girl, the main character. Obviously fighting crime and whatnot. Is considered the first African American teenage girl superhero.
That's why they're doing it. They're doing it for brownie points.
Oh, of course. Marvel always done their shit for brownie points this last year.
Yep. Don't get me wrong, Kamala Khan made some sense. I understand the idea of Kamala Khan, because Kamala Khan can be an interesting character. Don't get me wrong, I know for 100% it was brownie points, but like the actress they got to play Kamala Khan, she does fine. I've seen clips off of YouTube. I haven't fully sat down and watched the show. She's fine.
It's a good one. I like it.
Yeah, I heard it was not that bad. I just heard it was like mostly forgettable is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And they were releasing it around the same time of other shows, and it was just it wasn't fitting. So I think they were releasing it the same time as Obi-Wan Kenobi, which means they had little to no faith in that because they knew for a fact everybody was going to be watching Obi-Wan. Shit, I was watching Obi-Wan. I was like, fuck this shit. I'll watch Obi-Wan. And of course, I probably should have ended up watching Miss Marvel. Sorry. Obi-Wan was not that great. I'm sorry. Obi-Wan was not great. It was way too long. It should have been a movie. It should have been a movie. I don't even care if it was a Disney Plus original movie. It should have been a movie.
I think they were originally talking about having Obi-Wan.
That's what it was. It was going to be a Solo movie, but then they saw Solo, a Star Wars story, do terrible, and so they're like, "Oh well, fuck. Well, looks like we're gonna have to hold this off." And it's like, okay, weird, but okay. And then they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be a series." I'm like, okay. And then I kept watching, and I'm like, why are you fucking with the canon like this? Like this fucks over everything that is supposed to be between the prequels and the sequels, or the prequels and the originals. It's just one of those things. Is like it kind of fucks that over. Like you get away with it in The Mandalorian, but that's because it's after the originals. It doesn't really fuck with the prequels at all. This one deliberately fucks with the prequels, and it's like, okay, so at this point, then why doesn't Leia say, because she remembers him fondly, why doesn't Leia say, instead of, you helped my father at the Clone Wars, instead of, hey, yeah, you fucking saved my ass, and we went on this goddamn ridiculous-ass side quest that involved you finding a Jedi ring or some shit, like why the fuck doesn't she say something like that? I mean, shit. Come on.
Supposedly, I heard an interesting fact, like, okay, when it comes up to the part where Obi-Wan says that he thought he had a brother, it was actually originally supposed to be Luke's uncle was going to be Obi-Wan's brother.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
So then it would have related the Kenobis and the Skywalkers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird concept, but I thought it would have been interesting if they would.
Uncle Owen is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not a god awful. That's not a god awful concept, and it doesn't fuck with the canon too much.
No, it doesn't. It just.
I mean, it helps the fact that they're both dead. But, it doesn't really fuck with the canon because it would make sense because when Obi-Wan was a child, I mean, shit, you even see it in the Clone Wars, they take children at the age of, 3, where they're not really, they're still attached to their parents, but, it's not something that you can, it's not going to traumatize them tremendously, which is why a lot of people are saying that the Sith are actually the good guys and the Jedi are bad. To a degree, I can understand that because it is essentially.
No, what they do is they do train children at a very, very young age.
Yeah.
But they relocate the whole family or at least the mother, to Coruscant, and they're treated fairly fucking well.
Well, there's that, but they can never interact with their child again. I don't care how well you treat the parents. Oh, they can?
Yeah, they still can. Because they start training them as infants. They go through mental training.
Okay, see, I remember they take it as toddlers, and they just kind of the parents are like, oh well, if this child can have a better life than what I have, go right ahead. So it's just one of those things.
No, they do it. It all depends a lot on circumstances because sometimes you don't get to them till they're about toddler age. But like some planets that are like relatively close or on Coruscant themselves,
Okay.
they're trained from infancy.
Anyways, we got way off topic. Gallows, I believe you said you have a Snowdaquick.
So, come to find out, The Last of Us, we all remember the spores, right? You all remember spores? The Last
Yeah.
of Us,
They're based off of a real plant.
yeah, they would not,
Mhm.
they would not be in the they would not be in the show.
The spores will be in the show.
It won't be in the show at all. Like that was the whole thing about that was the whole point thing about Ellie. That Ellie can go into an area where the spores at and survive due to the fact that she is like she can't get affected. But now
How the fuck are they going to explain the infection? That's the whole point. It's based off of a real plant that it apparently it infects you. Because okay, what it usually does is it infects bugs and it kills them slowly, and then they just essentially become a new spore, spore thing for the plants. Which fine, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, how the hell are they gonna?
How the hell are they going to explain it then? That doesn't make sense because that's like, why out of everything you can change, do you
Why
take
change
that
the
away?
origin? Why change the origins of what this apocalypse is going to be?
I
Are you
don't
gonna
know.
make are you gonna make it a fucking contaminated cheeseburger? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna rip off Zombieland wholeheartedly, except take it serious, which is not what it's supposed to be.
It's what I'm wondering too, because I mean, they can't sit here and explain that Ellie getting bit doesn't affect her because I mean it does. She can get killed just like that, like being bit and killed. Like,
Well,
she
yeah,
can
for the
get
blood
broken
loss.
by a fucking blood loss. They can't explain that, so it's stupid.
Yeah,
I mean, unless they
That
do where the buster dude throws the spores like explode grenades at them, and she can't get affected. Unless they do that. I mean, but other than that, I don't know.
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. That boss was a pain in the ass. I hated that boss.
It was fucking
Oh yeah,
hard.
yeah.
The only thing I worry about is if I did, and a lot of fans are too. A lot of fans are like, "Bro, I mean, that basically means the series is gonna be stupid. It's going downhill."
Yeah. All right. Well, that's some bullshit. I hate that. But I have a Snowdaquick, believe it or not. One moment. I had one.
Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah. Well, no. Just give me a second. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. So, apparently, I don't know everything about it, but I do know that the people behind Magic the Gathering are purchasing the rights to Dungeons and Dragons, which fine, that's all fine and dandy. Here's the kicker, though: I do know that they are planning on copywriting the use of Dungeons and Dragons, and apparently, on YouTube is where it's going to affect them the most. But I believe Leon, you know more about it than I do.
Wizards of the Coast already owns Magic the Gathering.
Oh, they do. Oh, so
Yeah.
they're just copywriting it then.
Yeah, they're just they got a new CEO, and apparently she's from Microsoft, and she's doing all this shit.
Oh, that explains a lot. That explains
That does explain a lot, actually. Yeah.
So yeah, now if you make like over $750,000 revenue when it comes to like D&D shit, you have to give them like 20% or something like that. I don't remember the full thing about it, but
That's fucked up.
it's gonna hurt a lot of content creators, not
Yeah.
just people on YouTube. It's gonna hurt a lot of content creators.
I mean,
and
Critical
the
Role is still a thing.
biggest one's gonna be Critical Role. They're gonna get hit hard.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing is I honestly think they'll fight back with it, though. I think they'll be like, no, this is bullshit. What the fuck are you doing?
And this only pertain, from my understanding, it's going to pertain to everything going forward with D&D. So if we're using one D&D and anything like that, which majority of that's going to be online purpose anyway.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, if you're still doing a homebrew, it's not going to affect you whatsoever.
Basically, as long as you don't, from my understanding, as long as you don't fucking upload it and you're gonna make a bunch of money off it.
Well, that's kind of the whole point of why this channel does D&D. By the way, we will eventually be getting back to. But now with this, I don't even know. Maybe, maybe not.
Well, as long as we're not making revenue on it, I'm pretty sure we should be okay.
We make
But
revenue, but it all depends on views. Like, we're not really passing 30 views on them. So.
Then we should be fine. As
Yeah,
long as we're not hitting that $750,000 mark on making revenue, we should be okay.
Right. No, we should be perfectly fine. I do
And
agree.
this is gonna hurt a lot of like third-party companies too that make a lot of product for tabletop gaming.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's gonna hurt them. They're gonna get hit really hard.
Yeah.
And exactly, Joe, with Pathfinder too. That's gonna be because Pathfinder's one of those offshoots of D&D.
Yeah.
So that's going to get hit. Probably Vampire the Masquerade's going to get hit. A lot of those other pretty popular tabletop games all over the place that use similar tactics to D&D and all that, which honestly is bullshit to my experience. But
oh no, it is. It's 100% bullshit.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't talked to a lot of people that know about it, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people are not thrilled with this. I'm definitely not thrilled. As someone who has been working on for a while their own homebrew content for hopefully for possibly streaming it. Now I don't know, even though I'm just starting out.
Yeah, same here with mine. I was actually working on mine for a while, and I already had like a concept and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one of those things. It's like I personally don't know, and that does make me nervous. I'm not gonna deny that, but
yeah, that definitely makes me real nervous too, as someone who's been trying to get a group together and maybe go into streaming this adventure with some friends.
Well, that does suck. I hate to end it on a sad note, but I believe we are done, and this is actually going to conclude the first episode of the new year. Woo! We're on season 4, everybody. So,
season 4.
This is the Snodacast. I have been your host, Black Chef 56. I've been joined by DJ Lionheart, aka Leon.
Stay nerdy, y'all.
And of course, I was also joined by Gallows, aka Thomas. Yeah. And remember, once again, for the first time of this year, we are
professionals.
And of course, we will be back onto regular schedule for next week, and I believe for the foreseeable future as well. So it's just one of those things. Be sure to stay tuned for your regular schedule bullshit, and we will see you all next time.